Engine notes begin to rise here at Monza as we wait for the first round of the season of the Porsche Cup. Lights go out, here we go. Great start from Matt Jackson in third. Paul di Resta away well from pole. And that's Pascal Wehrlein in second place, who's got away well also. Andy Rice there just in fourth place as he dives up the inside of a wall. Straight into the lead. Andy Rouse, unbelievable start, unbelievable braking, and he managed to pull it off. How did he do that? Great start then from Andy Rouse. He leads them through. Paul di Resta second. It's Pascal Wehrlein in third. Matt Jackson is now fourth as they charged round turn 3. Plato battling with Tom Clark in the background. Into the second chicane. Oh, that's Pascal Wehrlein making a mess of it, and he's into the gravel trap as Matt Jackson moves up to third now. Paul di Resta now leads, and it's Andy Rouse and Matt Jackson in second and third. Plato fourth, Tom Clark fifth. We lost Pascal Wehrlein at turn 5, sorry, at the second chicane. He's recovered in the background there, but Matt Jackson we're looking at now as they come up into the third chicane. Paul di Resta leads, Andy Rouse second. Matt Jackson late on the brakes, gives him a bit of a nudge into the final chicane. That cost Jackson time and gained, if anything, an advantage to Andy Rouse and helped him round that corner as they come down the back straight. Paul di Resta leads, Andy Rouse flashing his lights in the background in second place. Jackson in third, closely followed by Plato and Tom Clark behind him. Through the final corner, Plato goes wide, Tom Clark looks for the inside, and I think he's just about got him. As they go side by side, start lap 2. Down to turn 1, di Resta still leads them. Andy Rouse, Matt Jackson very close behind as Tom Clark takes fourth place away from Jason Plato as they charge round the swooping turn 3. Andy Rouse now coming under pressure from Jackson and Tom Clark. Tom Clark's looking very aggressive there in fourth place. He's looking like he might go for a lunge here. I think he might do, and he's going for it on the inside of Jackson. Jackson just doesn't blink an eyelid and holds him off. Tom Clark doesn't know quite what to do. He stays in fourth place for now. Jackson very aggressive on the defending there, but he's still very close to Andy Rouse in second place. Plato also in fifth place, very close behind. Bit of touch of dirt kicked up there from Andy Rouse in second place as Paul di Resta pulls away at the front. Jackson looking very close at the back of Andy Rouse. He looks like he's going to take a lunge here into the final chicane, and that's a very late braking manoeuvre. If he pulls that off, it's going to be a brilliant move. He compromised his exit, but he's held on to it for now. He's run a bit wide out of the final corner, and he's lost the position back to Andy Rouse now. But Tom Clark's looking very aggressive. He's trying to slip in between the both of them. They might just go through abreast into the final corner. It's Tom Clark very low on the brakes. Contact between Jackson and Rouse, and Tom Clark loses the back end into the wall, and he must be out of the race after that big collision with the wall. As Jackson now takes second place, Andy Rouse is third, Plato now fourth. Andy Rouse is all over the back of Jackson now. This is going to go very close as they come down to turn 1. They're side by side. Plato trying to get the draft of Rouse as Jackson defends the inside. He's got the inside line, so he should be able to hold it from there. Rouse tries to outbrake him, but it's never going to work. He gets over the curb, loses time. Jackson holds on to the position as Paul di Resta pulls away at the front. As these three, battle out for second place. Tom Clark still in fifth place, recovering from his accident that he had at the final corner. So you can see the damage in the background of his car. As up the inside, Andy Rouse looks for the inside of Jackson. There's a bit of contact. It's all a bit clumsy as they came through the second chicane there, but Jackson's still ahead of Andy Rouse. Plato got very close to the back of them as well, but still Jackson holds off the front. Well, not the front, the second place that he's got at the moment. Paul di Resta's checked out, remember. We're looking at the battle for second place between Matt Jackson, Andy Rouse, Jason Plato and Tom Clark's recovering from his accident and slowly catching up the back of this trio. Into the final chicane they come. It's Jackson that leads them. Andy Rice looking very aggressive. He's looking for... There's the lead of Di Resta. That's the gap that he's got. That's about 5 seconds, I reckon, as he comes into the final corner, as Andy Rice flashes his lights at the back of Jackson, trying to distract him. Jackson's too old and wise for that. As Jason Plato just falls back from these front runners. He's now dropping back in 4th place. Tom Clark, after his accident, must be suffering from a bit of damage. Although he has got past Plato. Plato's now in 6th place. He's dropped behind Verline now. So Plato's obviously had some sort of nightmare somewhere. As we look at Jackson coming out of turn 2 into turn 3 with Andy Rouse right on the back of him. Flashing his lights. He's eager to get past here. These two are very, very close together, and they're looking like they're going to be like this for the rest of the race. Jackson just holds him off into the 2nd chicane. Andy Rouse is ducking and diving, trying to find a way through as they come to the Degners. Tom Clark now 4th place. Verline is 5th. Plato 6th. And don't forget, the leader is Paul Di Resta, who's pulled away from these two by a considerable amount as they've been battling out for 2nd place. He's got a 7-second lead now ahead of Jackson, Paul Di Resta. So I think he's got this one in the bag. As 2nd and 3rd come into the final chicane. Still Jackson that leads Rouse. Both a bit ragged there through the final chicane. As we look at the lead of Paul Di Resta, there's a 7-second gap that he's got ahead of these two. They're too busy squabbling for 2nd place to do anything about it. Into the final corner, Andy Rice goes wide. That's given Jackson a bit of breathing space. Across the line they come again. Jackson now has a bit of space between him and Andy Rouse, as Tom Clark in 4th place with that damage, remember, after his accident, doing very well. Through turn 3 comes Jackson and Andy Rouse, still nose to tail. Hard on the brakes, left and then right. Try and keep the car out of the gravel trap that's very close on the left hand side as they come into Degner 1. Jackson got a bit of gap now in front of Andy Rouse. And there's a big gap now to Tom Clark. Jackson just got on the curb there into Degner 2. That's going to cost him a bit of time as he comes down the back straight. Don't forget, Paul Di Resta is leading this race now by a comfortable margin ahead of these two who are battling for 2nd place. And they've also got a comfortable gap behind them. There's Di Resta. That's the lead that he has. Jackson now 2nd. That's Tom Clark. No, Tom Clark's gone. We've lost Tom Clark somewhere. That's Pascal Verline and Jason Plato in the background. So we've missed Tom Clark somewhere. He's obviously had another off, or he's obviously come into the pits because of the damage that he had. Who knows? As they come across the line then. Jackson still holding off Andy Rouse then. Plato now has moved up to 4th place ahead of Pascal Verline. Into turn 1. Jackson keeps it all steady together. All he has to do is just keep pumping in these lap times and stay ahead of Andy Rouse, who's not letting him go, let's be fair. There's a bit of a gap now, but he's still not letting him go. Jackson still has his work cut out for him here today to hold on to this second place. Oh, running a bit wide there, Jackson. That's compromised his exit there. And now Rice is looking a bit closer than he did last time. Clayton still fourth in the background. Through Degner 1 comes Jackson. Now into Degner 2. Look at the marbles being kicked up. Oh, there's been a dust kicked up by Jackson. He got it on the grass there as well, and that's lost him a lot of time. Here comes Andy Rice round the outside in the back straight. They're side by side as they come down in towards the chicane, and I think Rice is just ahead of him. Oh, but Jackson outbreaks him and just gets the position back. Unbelievable racing between these two. Jackson retakes the position from Andy Rice after that mistake out of the final Degner. As we look at Paul di Resta coming into the final corner, Jackson just ahead of Rice now. These two are looking very close together now. Plato in fourth place in the background there as we come round the final corner. One more lap to go after this, and the pressure is heating up between Jackson and Andy Rice. Paul di Resta's got this in the bag now. There'll have to be something to go seriously wrong now for him to lose this race. As we look at the battle for second into the final lap we come then. Jackson ahead of Rice into turn 1. Look how close they are. They're not giving an inch. And look at that. Andy Rice has got a better drive out of turn 2. He's going to try and go around the outside into turn 3. That's not going to work. Jackson's got the inside. As they come down towards the second chicane, he's going to have to go defensive because Rice is looking very aggressive. And here he comes up the inside. Andy Rice goes for it. And that's a brilliant move. And he defends the uppercut as well. And Jackson has no return for that one. What a move there from Andy Rice. That might have just got him second place in this race. As they come into Degner 1. Jackson pushing hard. He's obviously not happy about this. Into Degner 2. He's right on the back of now of Andy Rice. Can he get any closer in the slipstream? Here they come now into the final chicane. Oh, Jackson going wide now. This is a penultimate lap of the race. He's only got one more lap after this to try and get back past him. Di Resta still leads this race into the final corner. He comes to start his final lap. And here comes second and third. Andy Rice, Matt Jackson into the final corner. That's a big gap that Di Resta has. Nothing to worry about. This race is in the bag for him. We have to now concentrate on the battle for second because it's very, very, very heated, and it has been all race long. Across the line then for the final time. One more lap to go. Andy Rice in second place, Matt Jackson in third. Laid on the brakes, getting as close as he can. Trying to get back onto... He's got a better drive around the second corner now. He's getting very close to the back of Andy Rice. Matt Jackson pushing hard here. He's got one lap to do it. Can he get back past? Turn 3 they come, and towards the second chicane. Will Rice to go defensive? He doesn't, but Jackson isn't close enough to make a move. But they've both gone wide. Jackson tried to get the undercut, but he got high up on the curb. That cost him time. And they come into the Degners. Still nothing he can do about it. All he can do is get as close as he can. And he's got very close this time. He's got better drive through the Degner 1. If he gets the Degner 2 right, he might get a good drive onto the back straight. And look at that. Andy Rice has gone wide. Jackson goes through. He doesn't need to get a good run. He just gets gifted second place. What a move from Matt Jackson. More of a mistake from Rice, to be fair, as they come into the final chicane for the final time. That could have cost Andy Rice his second place unless he tries something in the final corner. Jackson gets the final chicane perfect and bang on. Di Resta's got this one in the bag as he comes across the final corner to come across the back straight to win the race. But we're looking back now at second and third. It's Andy Rouse looking for a move up the inside of Jackson. He dives for the inside. There's a bit of contact. He pushes Jackson out wide. Jackson tries to hold the line, but he tries to push around the outside. Can he hold the line? No, he can't. Andy Rouse gets past him. Can Jackson get the slipstream towards the line? I don't think it's enough time to do it. He tries his best. It's going to be close. Oh! Jackson loses out. Andy Rouse gets the second place. Paul di Resta wins the race. Wow, what a finish to the Porsche Cup Championship. Race 1. Jackson must be disappointed with that to just pip down to the line. Unbelievable. Thanks for watching. Good night.